This is Gypsy from Broken Dolly TV. Long time no see, you guys. I am going to do some comparisons today with these 3 Barbie Basics dolls. I already forgot what number they are in the series, but this is the Sean sculpt, this is the Goddess sculpt, and this is the Tamika sculpt. And you can see I've already done a little bit of changes to the dolls. They're not in their complete original condition, so I'll go over each of those things with you guys as we're doing the comparisons. But let's start with this guy, Sean here. Okay, well, I was definitely not blown away when I first got him out of the box. I feel like the doll is a little bit underwhelming. I think a lot of people have been side-eyeing this doll a little bit because of some issues with the doll that people were not predicting were going to be an issue. One of the main things I hear people saying about this doll is that he's much too scrawny, as you can see by his very skinny legs. That was not a point of delight for the average collector who had been waiting for a slim Mates Move Ken body to be released. Here you can see him in comparison to just a regular standard Ken body. There is a difference in just the girth of the legs between the two. For sure, it's shorter. The calf area is like shorter. He is much skinnier. I know if I take his pants off, you'll be able to see the difference in like the thighs as well. But overall, they didn't like the proportions of the legs and arms compared to the neck. For me personally, I absolutely detest this outfit that he came in. It's like, what is happening here? You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of something like a mental patient would wear in an asylum. Like, I'm like picturing him coming with a straitjacket accessory, especially with this messy hair. If you can see on the box of the doll, when we look at the promo pictures of the doll, you can clearly see that the hair texture is like totally different than what we're getting on the actual doll. This is always something to keep in mind with Mattel's Barbies, that their prototypes don't always look like what we get in the box. So just keep that in mind if you're new to doll collecting and Barbie collecting. This is definitely an ongoing issue with them. It's nothing new. And you can see the individual strokes in his eyebrows on the picture here. It's a little bit harder to see on the actual doll. There are some strokes there, but it's not as defined looking as in the picture. So there's some differences. If you're a customizer, this is not really an issue for you. It just gives you another project to work on, but it's something to keep in mind. Also, something that surprised me about him was the hairstyle. Not just the curl pattern, but the actual style itself. I didn't know that he had this like painted on edges around his hair. He's got kind of like a faux hawk going on. So that kind of explains why his hair is just kind of all over the place when you take him out the box. And it does have a lot of gel in it, but I'm not sure why, because it's not in any particular style. I washed the gel out of his hair and I haven't actually really like styled it yet because I don't know what to do with it, but I'm gonna figure it out. I may end up trimming some of this length. Maybe it's just a little bit too long for him. I don't know, but it just looks like a crazy hot mess. In comparison, though, I did want to show you the first initial Sean face that used the sculpt, and that's this guy from the Barbie Looks series. He came out in the first wave, and this is the original Sean. So if you're wondering why the face looks familiar, then this is why. A lot of people miss this guy. Every extra one of him I had, I ended up selling to other collectors. If you missed this one, he's probably not one you're going to end up getting in your collection. He might go up on your grail list, and who knows if you'll ever see him. I think I had a couple of extra heads too that I sold on eBay, just on like random fashionista bodies. And it's amazing how fast those guys sold. Like, I didn't even realize how rare they were. Now you can have your own other Sean at a reasonable price, under $30. And all these dolls I'm showing you guys today from this series are on Amazon right now. Amazon ships within 1 or 2 days to most places in the US. I don't know about the other countries, but you can go ahead and check out the links in my description if you are bothered to buy them from Amazon. They're available there. I don't know where else, maybe Walmart. Yeah, you can definitely get them from my Amazon links. So the difference mainly between these two Seans is that, of course, the skin tone is different. The face up is also different, but you see that one has facial hair and one does not. I did remove the facial hair on this version at one point. I think I might have sold that one. I don't think I have him anymore, but yeah, it did look just like this once I took all the facial hair off. So you can see, you know, the two versions, they do look quite different even though it's the same sculpt. There's a lot you can kind of do to customize this face, I think. So that's a plus. And they do have a similar hairstyle in that they only have hair in the middle of their head here and not all over the scalp. But his goes all the way from the front to the back and his stops midway. And this one has flocking and this one does not. Personally, I do prefer the one that has no flocking because trying to style the hair and like getting it wet and keeping the water off of the flocked part is a little bit of a challenge. It's like an extra step you have to take. But if the doll has painted on hair, you don't have to worry about that. The way they rooted his hair is very similar to how they did all the holiday boys from last year. And this one here, this is the Julio sculpt from the holiday Kens, but you can see here they did something very similar with the painted on hair, and then the hair itself is rooted only in the middle. And this guy, I don't think his comes all the way down like Sean's here. Those are just some comparisons I wanted to make, and while we're at it, you can see here I did try to compare these two skin tones to see if they would match. They don't. On screen they look a lot closer than they actually are in person, but you can see here that his head is redder than his actual body is, because this body is from like a random donor kin, and it was just the best closest match that I had. But with the clothes on, you can't really tell the difference. But obviously this face and this body is not a match. Now this is just my hypotenuse, but I really believe that the potential for this Ken is in the clothing. I think once you take him out of his asylum clothes and disguise him as a normal guy, I think he'll be alright, even though he's a little bit scrawny. I do admit that, but I think the scrawniness will be camouflaged easier when he's got on more form-fitting clothing. So height-wise, there is a difference between the two body types, although he's on a stand, so it looks a lot closer right now. But if I put this guy on the same level on the stand, you see there's a height difference here. This dude is like the petite equivalent of the Barbies with their body types. I did want this Ken mainly for a body donor. I wanted to put a different Ken on this body that had like a more youthful face that I thought would look better on a shorter body or something. Personally, I think his head is way too big for this body and he should go onto a normal sized body. But I don't know right now who exactly is a match for him. Perhaps I think the closest that I have in my own collection is this guy, Cam, from the Barbie Look series as well. I think they're very close, very, very similar. When I don't have this bright light shining on them, I don't really see a huge difference in the two. The bodies look like the same color, so I would bet that they are the same skin tone. I don't see a difference with my naked eye when I look at these two bodies next to each other. But obviously the body types are different, so maybe I will test it out. But I don't think I have any more spares of this guy anymore. Maybe the Asian wheelchair Ken might be also close match. But when I compared my wheelchair Ken to this guy, I saw a slight difference, so I'm not sure. But you know, you don't have to go crazy trying to match everything perfectly, because unlike back in the day, nowadays Barbie just is very slack offish with their color matching, and sometimes they sell us dolls that have heads and bodies that are slightly off in color. So they just sell them like that. I kind of feel like, you know what I'm saying, you have some grace with how closely you need to worry about matching the bodies. So I wouldn't sweat it, but that's just my opinion. But my goal with him is to completely change him out of this outfit and see how he looks in like something else that maybe flatters his body type a little bit better, because this is not it. But the good thing about this stuff, because it's stretchy, I think you could actually use these more for a Barbie, like a curvy Barbie instead, and that might be better to break the pieces up into outfits that will go on a female doll. I do appreciate the brown bracelet that he got, like a beaded bracelet, and he's got some very unique looking sandals that I also like. I like that it's brown. I like the neutrality of the color schemes, of course, with all these dolls, because that's exactly the aesthetic that I'm going for in my overall collection. As you can see, with most of my dolls, I don't really have them in a lot of different colors right now, because that's just like, it's an eyesore for me. So I like to keep my dolls in very basic colors already. So this is helping me to add more plain and earth-toned colors to my dolls' wardrobes, all the clothes that these dolls come with. So that I'm not complaining about. Let's move on to the girls. So next we're going to take a look at this one, which is the Goddess Sculpt. I wasn't sure if I wanted this doll first, like in the first batch of dolls that I was going to order from this series when it came out. But I saw my girl on Endolphins reviewing her, and she's so stunning, and like I couldn't get over how pretty she turned out. Even though I have a bajillion goddess dolls, like too many, and I actually don't even have any of my goddess sculpts out on display for this exact reason, because I feel like I just have too many of them in my collection and I needed to make space for other dolls that I don't have so many of out on display. I'm trying not to have so many dolls that I have like tons of out here on display. So they're all in storage, but I did pull one out so we could do a little comparison. And this is actually one of the goddess dolls from, I think this doll is from like the 90s or the early 2000s. I don't know for sure, but now I have 3 of these goddess dolls, and each one is a different, like goddess of spring, goddess of beauty, goddess of wisdom. Like they're all different kinds of goddesses. They were all given to me by one of my beautiful dolly friends online, Bratney, who has a massive collection. Like this lady has thousands, not hundreds, thousands of dolls. And some of them are just in pristine condition. So all 3 of the ones she gave to me were still like new in box. And she happens to be one of them. And I'm just in love with the way they look. These are the only dolls that I have. Or I shouldn't say the only. They're like one of maybe 5 or 6 in my entire collection, which is like hundreds of dolls, that are in their same condition as how I received them. And I'm not really planning on changing them out of the clothes that they came in or whatever. She is missing her necklace though, because when I was rebodying her, the necklace came off and I had used it for a different doll styling, but she'll get it back. So yeah, so these 2 are the same sculpt, as you can see. And despite them being the same sculpts, you can also see how different they look, especially the way that the makeup is done and just the ethnicity part of it. This one very clearly is coded to be like an Asian girl, and she is a little bit more ambiguous. I would say out of these clothes, she probably could look like a Hispanic or an Arab woman, but I just love looking at sculpts that are the same, that look so different. Like you kind of have to like really study them to notice that they're the same sculpts, you know. The lips look very different. Like hers look really like plump and juicy, and hers are a little bit more streamlined and sharper kind of edges. So that's really cool to see. And the eyes, I think, look a little bit more realistic on this one. The color of her skin though, I think the dolls that I have that are similar skin tone are these from last year's Barbie Basics kit dolls that came bald. You're getting a sneak peek at mine that I rerouted, but this one is part of kit number 2 from that series. And I think these guys are very, oopsies. I do think that they are very, very similar in skin tone. I don't know. Maybe my eyes are playing tricks on me because I keep seeing her as like a pale Asian girl. But it could possibly be that this one is a little bit more peachy. But I don't know for sure if that's true. It could just be my eyes playing tricks on me and they're actually the same skin tone. But they're very close. Now the skin tones, everything comes up slightly different depending on the device that the dolls are being recorded on, the device you're looking at them on, and you know, the lighting that you're looking at the dolls under. All of this kind of affects how close skin tones seem to be matching with each other. So to be the most consistent, honestly, I think in the daytime, you go in front of a window that's open or maybe outside on your porch and look at the dolls under sunlight, and then decide if the skin tones are close enough match that you can't tell the difference. But honestly, if you're looking at them and you really just can't even tell the difference, like you really are like looking for the difference, then they're probably close enough to match, and you can get away with using one for a body don't over the other. All of the female dolls come with their ears pierced, which is another plus for me because I just love earrings and I can't never have enough. I really liked the top that she came with. The bottoms are just a shiny champagne colored stretchy skirt that can probably fit on every body type and look fine. I do love the cut of this top. I don't think I have anything like this, and I am really excited to use that piece for other dolls that I want to do some different stylings with. And of course, these bronze shoes is what she came wearing. For the hair on this doll, it's very long, very soft, just the usual slippery kind of saran hair that we're very used to and fond of, that doesn't tangle. And she's got her hair tied here in the front down to make it look like it's like flat. There's a tie in the back of her head that you will have to undo to get that loose. But overall, she doesn't have any gel or product in her hair, so she's ready to style immediately. And she's probably one of the easiest ones to just plop up on your display case without having to do that much to her, and or easily adding some little accessories to her to restyle her, because everything's kind of like good to go immediately with this one. I ended up picking her over Victoria to order initially, even though I know I want Victoria. I knew as soon as I saw the lineup that I was gonna want Victoria, because I don't have any other Victoria sculpts in my collection right now other than the original that came out with the Barbie Looks series in the first wave, the real tall blonde one. But I never have her out on display because I don't think that I want to use up a display spot for her over some other dolls I'd prefer to keep out. So as I've been rotating through dolls on display, I just don't find occasion to put that one out that much. But with the new one, the appeal of that one for me is that she's got very, very curly hair, even though it's blonde. And I don't have a whole lot of dolls that have blonde curly combination of hair, especially with like a Caucasian skin tone. But when I see them, I always fall in love with them. I think they look unique for a doll that's supposed to be like a regular white girl. So I just love it. I love the curly blonde hair combination, and that's part of why I wanted her. And also because the facial screening is obviously different than the original Victoria that I have. I decided I would wait on getting that one because I just was more curious about these girls. Next, let's talk about Tamika here, and she's another one whose sculpt originally came in the Barbie Looks series first, which I do have here. I'll show her to you. And this Tamika, she is originally on a curvy body. So this is the body that she came on here that I swapped onto the other Barbie Basics doll from one of the previous kits that were released before these individual dolls were. And this one is the Tango sculpt here. And I gave her a little bit of freckles on her face. She was on this body. I had put her onto, this is originally, what is that girl's name?
2 hours later.
The Fashion Frontier Barbie that I reviewed previously with the super duper long hair. That was her original body, which is like a superhero body. I kind of wanted to see what Tango looks like on a curvier shape, which I actually do like. My other Tango sculpts, a fashionista. This one that a lot of you guys probably have and don't even realize is a Tango sculpt. This one has the playline head, so it's a little bit bigger than the collector version. But the other Tango doll that I have in my collection besides this one is also from the BMR 1959 series, the tall Asian girl. She also has that sculpt. It's a very calm, like relaxed kind of an expression on the face, and very feminine looking facial sculpt. I think they look so different from each other. Like all three of the ones that I have look so different. And that's what I really like about them, that they don't look like the same person, just with different skin tones. And all three of mine are different complexions, so that adds to the variety. So I'm really happy with them. She happens to be on her original body, which is already curvy, and I really like how she looks. So I thought I would try this version on a curvy as well. And I think I like her better on the curvy body than I did on the other body she was on. Especially because her hair is just so big. It kind of balances out having like a bigger body to go with her big hair, because her face is a little bit small. But yeah, so I decided to put Tamika on a taller, slender body, which I think suits her well just because of her slender face. Like her face is like bigger at the top and then it comes down to a point at her chin and gets smaller. So I felt like it would just be a better balancing act to have her on a smaller frame. Now, the original Tamika, she's on a petite body, and I think that's part of why she looked so good on this petite body, because her head is so tiny. And this one, you can see how different they look from each other, because one is extremely exaggerated and very like outlandish. Like she's just very like flamboyant looking with the very exaggerated makeup. She really looks like it's club night, and like her hair is like a blend of burgundy, purple, and orange, which is unheard of. Just like a crazy color combination that suits this doll so well. Look at her red baby hairs. Like she just looked like she got someplace to be at. You know what I'm saying? She got somewhere to go. But this doll, she reminds me more of the original Elle Sculpt from the Barbie looks, who had a very natural looking face up. And it wasn't really cartoony looking like some of the other dolls in the series, or like this one. This one looks way more cartoonish compared to the original Elle. And this doll reminds me of the way that they did that one, which I thought looked so realistic. So I like this more like relaxed, calm makeup look that they gave to her. It's a little bit more everyday. It's a little less exaggerated. She's got like bronzer on her cheekbones. Like she just looks so muted compared to the other TAMIKA that I have, which I love because she looks like she just got so much attitude. But I also have to put a lot more thought into the clothes that I put her in, because I don't want to clash with her makeup and her hair, which is very, very just out there looking with her clothes. I have to be in the mood to really like style this doll. She doesn't get a lot of attention from me. And also, like at one point I had actually curled her hair with straws and heat, but her hair do not want to keep a curl. Like it's always falling back out, so I just don't even bother with her hair anymore. But it's very long. Once the curls drop out, you can see how long this hair goes all the way down to her knees. It's a lot to manage. This one, her hair is a little bit shorter, especially with the curls still intact. These are her original curls. I just took her little ponytail down from the top of her head. I haven't washed the gunk out of her hair yet, so I plan on doing that. My idea for her though, because like I said, like I feel like the doll is slender. Like she looks better on like a smaller frame. I don't know if I want her to have a lot of big hair per se, so I may end up completely straightening the hair flat. Or sometimes what I do with dolls like this that have like big hair is I will twist it up or braid it up so that it's taking up less density overall, because sometimes the hair just gets so hard to manage when it's too big. This is exactly what I did with this Barbie Basics doll that came in the 3-head kit. I like it better like this with the twist in it, because she already came with these yarn twists, which was confusing me because the rest of her hair was saran and it was loose, and I'm like, why are we doing this, Mattel? Like when was this a style? So I just decided to twist all of it up, and now it looks a little bit more streamlined. It looks way more manageable, and it's not just bulking up all of her head with so much mass. I did the same thing with Miss Nessa Rose from the Wicked for Good series of dolls as well, which I have like a dedicated video for her and Dorothy that I got together. You see, I've twisted all her hair as well. So this type of saran hair, you can pretty much twist the hair as close to the bottom of the length as you can get it, and don't have to worry about all of it unraveling. You do not have to make all of the hair the exact same thickness, and it will still look fine. But she just had a massive hair on her head, and I just, it was such a nightmare trying to figure out how to style it to make her look good, because she already has a big head to begin with, and I don't like so much mass on the doll's head, making the doll look more like top heavy, unless it really suits that doll's look for her to have big hair. Like it's gotta make sense for why she just has big hair, you know? For her, I don't know, I just didn't look at her as someone who would have very high maintenance hairstyles, so I decided to just twist it all up, which I think makes her look a lot more calm. And this is the way I'm going to keep her probably for a while, probably forever. I don't think I'm going to take these out because I just like the way they look on her. That's just an idea I wanted to share with you guys. If you're trying to figure out how to like tame doll hair and you don't want to cut it, or you don't want to manipulate it with heat too much, you can always braid it up, twist it up. These are 2-strand twists that I did, and I just wrapped them around each other. And it was very fast. Just watch something on TV while I'm doing it. You don't have to part it and get all like precise with it. It doesn't matter, especially dolls like this that have a lot of hair density. You don't have to get really precise with it. It'll still look good. So I might end up doing that with her, or I might just straighten it. I'm not really sure exactly what I want to do. The video is getting longer than I expected. I think the last thing I want to try is a new outfit on Sean here. We'll take a look at him in something different, see if he looks any better. Proper stylings of each of these dolls, I'm probably going to do that in a separate video coming up. So stay tuned. I still have a bunch of other dolls that I have reviewed that I still need to edit videos for that are coming as well. So I don't know what order I'm going to end up uploading things. But I got a lot of dolls during the holiday sale, you guys. Like so freaking many. And I had a lot of videos that I shot while I was trying to organize that part of my collection. As you can see behind me here, I have like a new display that I was testing out with these girls just hanging out on this stand or whatever you want to call this. I don't even know what it is, okay? I don't know what you call this. It's not meant for dolls. It's actually a cupcake stand. The whole thing comes apart and like you can kind of customize the layout of it. And right now, I just have the middle part here, which is like built like a swing set. I have these two dolls as like the focal point of it, and then a bunch of my other dolls around them. So it was just something I was trying out to see. Maybe for photography, it might be a fun little visual to have. I don't know. I'm just experimenting and trying different things with my displays right now, gearing up to give you guys a display tour video coming soon. So I'm just trying to get organized. My brain is all over the place. ADHD, yay. So let's just come back with Mr. Sean here, hopefully looking a little bit less scrawny and like he needs very, very strict supervision in a mental institution. This is not his permanent look, but I just wanted to see how he would look when he wasn't wearing these insanely oversized baggy clothes. And I do think it does him a lot better to put on something that's going to be a little bit less big on him, camouflage that scrawniness that he has going on. Now he just looks like a slim dude, as he should. The pants that he's wearing are not super fitted. They have a little bit of room in them, so it kind of like evens out the scrawniness of his legs. They just camouflage it a lot better. I think he looks so much better like this. Now granted, his hair and I are officially mortal enemies. We do not like each other, okay? I don't know how to style his hair, but for now I'm gonna let him just cover it up with a hat so that I don't have to deal with it. But I gotta figure something out about his hair, because I don't know how to tame it. It's wild, okay? But you might have better luck than I am. I'm not a big fan of it. I don't know. I don't think I'm missing anything if I lose the curls. So I'm not totally like attached to the curls. I will be coming back with these dolls and maybe Victoria when I do the restyling video. So that's coming up. Make sure you stay tuned and subscribe so you don't miss any of that. If you're wondering about any of these other dolls that you see in the background, some of them are available on Amazon where I purchased them from. So I will have links for you guys in my Amazon storefront, which is like the overall place where I just drop every doll related recommendation that I have for you guys, all curated in categories so you can look through them easier and find what you're looking for. And I will have individual specific links for the dolls that I bought to review in this video so you guys can find them specifically. Just look in the link section in my description and you'll be able to find that information there. So if you have any questions about anybody else you see, give me a good description of the dolls so that I know who you're talking about. If you're like, who's that doll in the corner at 10 minutes and 34 seconds? I'm going to be looking at you like, I don't know. You tell me. You tell me which corner, what doll, what she got on, what color hair she got. And it even helps if you can tell me the sculpt of the doll that you're talking about. But anybody else who sees questions like that in the comments, if you guys can identify the dolls for your fellow collectors, feel free to do that. You don't have to wait for me to answer any of the questions you see people asking. If you know the answers, help them out. So I'll see you guys in the next one. My name's Gypsy, and have a dolly day. Thank you.